WagerTalk continues to be an innovator in this industry, and our WagerBucks program is just one example. Because it's the holidays and we're feeling festive, we're giving you $100 worth of WagerBucks for only $49 using promo code WB49 at checkout. So how do they work? It's simple. You buy credits in bulk at a discounted rate and then apply them dollar for dollar towards your purchase. Use your purchase WagerBucks on $2 Tuesday, $9 packages on Monday. Buy your favorite 5% plays with or without the guarantee. Grab a 7-day all-access pass or even a 12-month package. That's right, purchase WagerBucks can be used on everything with no restrictions at both WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com. Due to the incredible savings, this special offer is limited to one per customer. From all of us here at WagerTalk, Sports Memo, and the Gold Sheet, we wish you a wonderful holiday season and a prosperous new year.
All right, guys, welcome in and Happy New Year to you as we wind down the final day of 2021. Can't believe it. 2022 literally just right around the corner. But before we get there, we got plenty in the association tonight going on, including a game right now between the Bulls and the G League Indiana Pacers here. But we do want to get to some edges that we think we got here tonight. We'll give you all the updated COVID information that we have as we welcome in our three esteemed handicappers here ready to rock and roll tonight, including the prop god Andy Lang in the house. Tony Finn is back in action, as is Kevin Dolan, ready to go here tonight, guys. And we got a little college football going on right now. We got a little NBA going on. And, of course, a lot still to come here, Andy Lang. And I know you're watching this Bulls-Indiana game. But what else do you got locked and loaded for us here tonight at WagerTalk?
We got a loaded NBA card for tonight, and things could not be going better. We're up 71 units in NBA player props since November 18th, and an incredible plus 43 units in the NBA since December 21st, averaging 4 units of profit a night the last 10 days. Now, probably not going to go at that rate the rest of the year, but we're doing really good. Loaded card, and there's a very special promo for a limited time up on my player profile page, so I encourage you guys to go see that. But yeah, I got a 4% play along with a lot of other props. Looking forward to a good New Year's Eve.
All right, good stuff there. We had one game in the books already here today, guys, as well. Celtics, Suns. Celtics get it done, and the Bulls and Pacers are at the half. And Tony Finn, yes. Got a lot of other stuff going on here. What do you got locked and loaded here for this evening at WagerTalk.com?
Well, I'm about ready to, as we were speaking, as we all arrived to the studio, I was sitting here putting in my NBA plays and some college for tomorrow. I have 3 plays in the NBA tonight, shockingly, because I'm certain I'm going to talk about nothing but you got to be an idiot to be betting on this card tonight, but here I am. 3 plays in the NBA tonight. All 5 of my my NFL on Sunday. I do have a Monday night play on Monday night as well, and college tomorrow we have 2 plays. No college basketball because I can't win. Everything I do is wrong in college basketball. And it started right away. Guys, I don't know about how anyone feels about Pittsburgh last night, but that was one of those beats that we're supposed to be able to avoid. So here we are. Let's pick some winners today.
Let's get her done. Let's do it here. And I know Kevin Dolan locked and loaded here today at WagerTalk.com. As we round out the year here, Kev, what do you got for us over at WagerTalk?
Yeah, well, things going well myself. Joe, looking forward to 2022, obviously. Hoping for a bit of a return to normality. 2020 and 2021 absolutely sucked. But look, I'm pretty happy because what hasn't sucked is their NBA selections this year. 46 and 24 run right now on all NBA sides heading back to the playoffs. In the summer, got a big 4% play loaded up for tonight as well in the NBA. So you can catch that over on WagerTalk. On the website, and just crushing it right now in the NBA overall. Still the number 1 profit leader over the last 12 months in NBA. So, excited about that play, and obviously always excited to break down a few of these games in today's show as well.
All right, good stuff, guys. Absolutely on fire is Kevin Dolan. So, as our contrarian plays of the day. The contrarian gods have been quite profitable here to start the season here as we round out 2021. And I don't think it's going to be any different tonight as we take a look at the Minnesota Timberwolves getting 12 and a half right now against the Utah Jazz tonight. And boy, oh boy, here. This it opened up 10 and a half. It has gone to 12. We do know that Mike Conley, Joe Ingles, in all likelihood, out for Utah, but they do have Mitchell back. And as far as Minnesota goes, it looks like no Karl Anthony Towns, but Mr. Edwards will be back on the floor with the team here tonight. So certainly some scoring getting ready to go here. Feels like a awful lot of points here, Andy Lang, for a Minnesota Timberwolves team that's going to have their leading scorer back on the court. No Conley. It is a different team without him on the floor. What do you think about the T-Wolves in a contrarian spot tonight?
Well, we're getting into interesting waters with the NBA because if you think about it, we've just kind of had a very, very strange chapter, what we haven't seen before in the NBA, which is we're trying to handicap these games with all these players getting ruled out at the last second. And now what we're doing is we're getting ready to handicap these games as all these guys are returning to the lineup. So these guys are getting kind of sprinkled back in. So you're getting these half lineups and these partial lineups. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't think I'm ready to lay this many points. So I think I would have to agree with the contrarian gods in this. The Jazz just continue to not blow teams out. I'm not taking any unders in this game, that's for sure. I would look at the Jazz over 207 or 117.5 as their team total. Should be a track meet. Jazz continue to be the number one scoring team in the league. They're averaging 115.6. The nice thing about taking these overs on these team totals with the Jazz is they're blowout proof. If the game is a blowout and they bring in their bench players, the bench doesn't stop scoring. They're bringing in Rudy Gay and Clarkson. These guys haven't seen a shot attempt they haven't liked. So it's not like these other teams when they bring in these bench guys and then the scoring just falls off a cliff. The bench for Jazz can get it done. The depth is probably one of their strongest assets this year. So I would look at the Jazz to really pour it on, especially with Donovan Mitchell. And I as much as I hate to do it, I'm going to go back to Rudy Gobert, over 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He got over this total against Portland, who did not have their defensive center. Minnesota does not have any defense in the interior. So he should get over this total. Last game, he only took 10 shots, but he made 8 of them. That was enough to get him well over. So you never bet big on a Rudy Gobert prop, but he should have a big game tonight in a high-scoring game.
So they were missing a few guys the last time we saw these two teams go at it there, Tony Finn. Karl Anthony Towns was ruled out before the game, and it skyrocketed. I think the number was 15 before it was all said and done. I think we talked about it that day just before. I think it was on the 23rd, and they did win, but they only won by 8. So now we're looking at a 12 and a half here. Might I interest you in a little contrarian god selection with the Minnesota Timberwolves to cover again tonight?
You know, you might have been able to last night about midnight after about 4 mezcals. But right now I'm thinking it's going to be very difficult to probably convince me. Meaning that for this reason and this reason, we've talked about this. I have said this. I've said it once. I've said it 100 times. And that is, Ingles makes a difference. He's still. I'm showing that he's still questionable. I haven't got any information on it. I heard you say, Joe, that you believed he was going to be out. So if that's the case, then I'm probably not. I'm not as high on Utah. However, Mitchell Beverly is never. Beverly's back, which first and foremost takes away a good 5 points from Minnesota's game total or 100 possessions. Believe it or not. Now it takes away 5 points of offense. When it comes to defense, Mitchell has never been bothered by Beverly in the past, and I don't expect him to be bothered, not even without Conley. And no team, not one team in the NFL, in the NBA, gives up more open looks, clean, pure, ocean distance open looks, and I mean within 6 feet of the shooter than Minnesota from the 3-point line. And if you're going to give this Utah team Bogdanovich and Neal, and I'd love to see Ingles back in there again, and Mitchell, those kind of clean looks from the three-point line at home tonight at altitude against a shorthanded Minnesota team. I have to back Utah.
All right, he is back in Utah, and God, I hate for you to be wrong at the end of 2021 there, Tony Finn, but that appears to be exactly what the contrarian gods have in store for you. But I will ask you, Kevin Dolan, we have seen this a little while ago, and I think having Edwards back and Tayshaun Prince, I believe, is also back here from Minnesota. Do you give him a puncher's chance here to be able to get and stay within this number?
Yeah, definitely, Joe. I could really get on board with Minnesota here. Utah have won 13 of the last 15 games in all. Each of those wins coming by an average score margin of 15 points per game as well. So we know, we know the kind of train wreck they are in terms of just mowing down opponents. Utah's just going through the motions right now. But they've got Golden State on deck tomorrow. We got to remember that. Plenty of room at this big number as well for Minnesota to squeeze in the back door here. So I agree with the contrarian angle tonight. I think the Timberwolves are the play here, and that's definitely the way I'd be looking on this one.
Yeah, so we've got Jared Vanderbilt available now as the 4:30 injury report comes out. Jared Vanderbilt is a go. Tayshaun Prince, Anthony Edwards also a go for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I am showing Mike Conley out. Joe Ingles is doubtful at this point, but keep an eye on that, guys. We'll see if anything changes here, but the contrarian gods are looking at the T-Wolves tonight, plus 12.5 against the Utah Jazz. All right, we are going to move on to our featured matchup here tonight, and this is an interesting one, too, because one of these teams just traded. Yes, for Bob Cousy. I mean, Rajon Rondo. That's exactly where he's heading. Cleveland, in fact, is just lost about every guard they've had. They are taking on the Atlanta Hawks tonight, who are still dealing with a whole bunch of starters there in the health and safety protocols. -1 was the number, 215.5 as an opening, and I am seeing still right around that. Only the total has jumped up to about 219 in this one. So, Andy Lang, kick us off here with some props in this one. What are you looking at here tonight?
Well, I just have to go with a huge number here, but I'm not taking a Trae Young under. I'll take his over. The number is huge, 32.5 points. I'm going to take the over. Let's just say I was not impressed by the perimeter defense of Kevin Pangos and Isaac Okoro last night for Cleveland.
Damn it.
I know. Big surprise. I mean, Bradley Beal did whatever he wanted. 29 points, just, demolish them. Trae Young should do the same. The Hawks, they really only have a few scores tonight. He's going to be taking a ton of shots, and we know what happens with Trae Young when he gets on a roll. If he blows by these guys like he should, and he gets shots to fall, it's going to be a massive Trae Young night. And so I'll roll the dice that he's going to be able to do that. And speaking of Isaac Okoro, I'm going to take his under 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Last night he had 11 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Jared Allen is coming back. He's probable. That's less rebound attempts and less shots. He looked lost last night. He only took 7 shots, and without Garland, without Rubio, he's not that real shot creator. He needs to work within the flow of an offense. This offense had no flow last night. It's a quick back-to-back. I think it's a really, really bad spot for him to try and create his own shots. He's not going to get many rebounds. I don't see the assists, so I think this number is pretty inflated. I'll take Okoro under 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
All right, good stuff there. I am seeing, obviously, it looks like the big news is Jared Allen is in all likelihood back for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So having Mobley and Allen in the lineup will certainly help from a defensive perspective. I don't know that it helps their offense very much there, but what do you think, Kevin Dolan, here? Cavs get Allen back. Is it worth a flyer here tonight?
I lean a little to the over from a totals perspective here, Joe. Cleveland really struggled in terms of shooting against Washington last time out. Both shooting percentage and 3-point percentage was way down from their season average in that game. And, Atlanta have been run over the last 2 games with that Chicago offense, been really ineffective in terms of blocking the lanes and so I think we will see points in this one tonight. I'm going to actually leave this because this is my dog play of the night on the side. So I'll talk about it a wee bit later. But, I do kind of like a side in this one.
All right, very good there. Tony Finn, talk to us here. Jared Allen, in all likelihood, back, but 13 players remain out. One of them not being Trae Young for Atlanta here. What do you think we're going to get from them tonight?
Yeah, 13 players. 13 Atlanta players on the COVID list. As everyone has spoken to, Trae Young is back. He's back on the floor at least. The key for me in this game is, Joe, you mentioned it. You started to mention it, and that was, you said Jared Allen is back. He is back. When Jared Allen and Mobley are on the floor together, this team is elite defensively, regardless really who's on the perimeter. Everyone's capable. No one's special. Garland, offensively, Garland's critical to this Cleveland team. And you just mentioned the trade. I don't think people think of Ricky Rubio as being a key piece in a puzzle, but he was and is the key, been a big part of the continued success of Cleveland, and who I believe the surprise team and maybe the coach of the year, sitting on the bench with them. But when Jared Allen and Mobley are on the floor together, guys, first off, they allowed 97.7, 97.8, I can't remember now, per 100 possessions. And then the half-court sets with those two on the floor together, 79 or 80 points in half-court sets. That's the best in basketball. It's the best in the association. So what does that have to do with this game? What does it have to do with tonight? It tells me that I should be running and screaming like a girl away from this game, because there's too many question marks on both sides. If you think Trae Young, as we've talked about here, can put up 35 or 40 against Mobley and Jared Allen in the paint, and listen, a lot of Trae Young stuff are those running floaters. That's the way he scores his points. So if he's going to score 40, he's going to be from the perimeter. If both those guys, and Allen is not a shot creator. Listen, his offense means almost nothing really to this Cavaliers team, even though he's averaging close to 20, right, or over 20. That's not how he gets his points. They're usually junk points, and there's other guys in this lineup behind him that come in rotations that can fill those points up. No Garrett, no Garland, no play from me. And I would probably ask to book the Irishman's play, because I just can't find the points coming here. If I'm right about Allen being back and Trae Young struggling a little bit, you're right about Cleveland on score, and I would probably be south of the total on that. But a lot of crap going on in the league. Who's coming? Who's going, guys?
All right, so that was 5 minutes I'll never get back, and you brought absolutely shit to the table. Wouldn't be 2021 without it there, Tony Finn. I love it. Okay. All right, guys, let's move to our overtime game if we can. Let's see if Tony Finn's got something on this game here tonight. And there was a couple of different ways to go here. But this is anytime, we're dealing with Memphis and San Antonio, who are two teams who have not, shall we say, had a problem scoring very much. And as you can tell, the market thinks they're not going to have any problem scoring tonight either. 223.5 up to 227. So talk to me here, Andy Lang. This kind of total continuing to get pushed up. How you looking at the prop market here tonight?
Well, I'll start by saying the Spurs are, without DeJounte Murray, they're one of the most confusing teams in the league to try and play any type of props on. I mean, they just spread the ball out. One night it's one guy, one night it's – so I just stay away from the Spurs. Without DeJounte Murray, I probably will not have any Spurs player props. So there are a couple I like. I'm going to go with Desmond Bane over 19.5 points. As you said, we got a high total here. And him and John Morant, now that Dylan Brooks is out, are taking most of the shots from Memphis. He's gone over this total in 3 straight games. He had a bad shooting night against the Lakers, and he still got over this total. He was cold from 3-pointers, and he just kept firing away. And San Antonio gives up over 20 points a game to shooting guards. Without DeJounte Murray, I think they lose some athleticism to guard the perimeter. So it's going to be the John Morant and Desmond Bane show. So I'll take him over 19.5 points. Here's an under for you, and this has been a popular one in the prop world. Kyle Anderson, under 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's not getting it done. He's gone under this total in 7 straight games. He has single-digit points in 7 out of 11 games this month, and he's only averaging 8, 5, and 3 this whole season. He's getting 6 shot attempts per game since John Morant returned. Not a lot of rebounds, not a lot of assists. I'm not really sure where the books are getting this number from, but this is a really solid under. Kyle Anderson under 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
All right, good stuff there. What do you think, Tony Finn here? It just feels like the market has got this pegged here. Expect points, points, and more points. What do you think we're going to get here tonight?
If San Antonio plays the form that they've been playing to, absolutely, I would absolutely agree. They're nothing special. San Antonio is nothing special at the rim as far as defending the rim. And if you don't have somebody defend the rim against Memphis, then points are going to come in bunches. They just are. That's where Morant's going to go. He's going to take the ball to the rim. And if you're going to, bring bring one off the perimeter into the paint to help, then he dishes off too. You know how I feel about Memphis. I still think they were a mirage, and they showed some of that. Nothing special also, Joe, about this win that everyone saw. Look what Morant did. They came back. They beat the Lakers. They came back against the Lakers. Nothing special right there at all. San Antonio, Utah lost to Utah, but they're still on a 4-0 against the spread run. In truth here, I'd avoid the total here, and I would take the dog. I'll take San Antonio Spurs, who are relatively healthy. I mean, comparative to the rest of the league, and more and healthier than the Grizz, who still have a few players, 8, in fact, out to COVID.
So, still got Desmond Bain, still got Jaren Jackson, still got John Morant there, Kevin Dolan here. Listen, it could be lack of defense here tonight. San Antonio, for the most part, pretty healthy here. Would you look at the over in this spot?
I mean, this is probably my weakest vote, on tonight's board, Joe, but I would be looking more towards the under. I think if I was playing this one, San Antonio's defensive efficiency metrics over the last 3 starts have been pretty impressive, 4th best in the league overall. And it's not like they've been going up against me beloved Orlando Magic over that stretch either. It's been fairly solid teams, the Lakers, Utah, and so on. So, it has been an impressive run of form for them. And arguably Memphis have been even better. The Grizzlies kept the Lakers to under 100 points on Wednesday. That was despite giving up 30 points in the very first quarter, average just 23 points the rest of the way. So, lean to the under here. Grizzlies also ranked 7th on defensive efficiency over the last 3 starts as well. But, I couldn't be walking to the window betting this, so it's just a lean.
All right, just leaning towards the under in that one. All right, guys, it is now time to welcome in our favorite dog. Pick your dog, as a matter of fact. Robert, go ahead. Throw it out, man.
That's my dog.
Yep.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
I just love Brian holding a glass of champagne here on New Year's. Priceless. All right, today's dogs. Let's take a look, guys. We got a few to choose from, including the hell no Sacramento Kings getting a point and a half here tonight. We also have, the Houston Rockets getting 4.5 at home, taking on the Miami Heat. We talked about the Hawks, the Clippers tonight, also in a dog roll here on the road against the Toronto Raptors. The OKC Thunder are getting points against the New York Knicks. Wow. The Spurs, we just talked about it. The Timberwolves, and of course, wouldn't be a trailblazer kind of night without them getting points. What at 5.5 here? So, Kevin Dolan, you mentioned it before. You lead us off here. You said you got a dog here tonight. Which one you looking at?
Yeah, in the game against Atlanta, Cleveland, I quite like Atlanta here tonight, Joe, catching the small number. I know we're talking obviously about a long, long time ago, and a lot has changed since then in terms of perception of where these two teams are at, and obviously the constant personnel changes as well. But Atlanta was a minus 8.5 road favourite against Cleveland back in late October. Same venue, a lot of the same players in attendance as well. Clint Capella, Trae Young, Markkanen, Mobley, and so on. And this has seen a full 10 points movement between this line and that. And I do think it's a bit much. I'll look to back the Hawks to win this one outright tonight against the Cavs. Cleveland play a slower paced game than Chicago do. We saw some tired legs out there for Atlanta in the last 2 games, obviously. So that might well end up suiting the Hawks tonight a bit more. Hawks plus the points for me tonight against Cleveland. That'll be my dog play of the night.
All right, looking at the Hawks here tonight. Andy Lang, how about you? Which one of these dogs are you willing to make your own tonight?
At first, I was thinking about the Thunder, but then I remember Julius Randle was out, and I actually think that's better for the Knicks, so I'm not going to go with them. I'm going to go with the Clippers. I think they're getting too many points. I don't quite understand why Toronto would be a 7-point favorite. I know they're getting some players back from COVID, but like I talked about earlier, I don't know what condition these guys are going to be in. I don't know how in sync they're going to be. There's just a lot of questions there. And the Clippers, they're getting Reggie Jackson back, and their other 4 starters they've played together. They're getting used to life without Paul George. They won their last game against Boston. I just think 7 is a bit too many points with this Raptor squad. I'm not real confident in. I don't see them as 7-point favorites over the Clippers at this point.
All right, good stuff there. Seems like a low total in that one as well. Tony Finn, talk to me here, my man. Which one of these dogs you going to make your own tonight?
I'm going to take Portland Trailblazers against the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah, and essentially what people are going to say, well, how do you do that? It's nobody. There's nobody playing. They got everybody's out. 8 players out for Portland. Well, they do have 8 players out. They're short benched, should I say? But I just have this. If it happens or not, doesn't really matter. But I have this feeling that LeBron's going to be rested some tonight. He's just played minutes after minutes after minutes. And if there's a game where coach and LeBron say, listen, I can play my 25 or 30, we can still win, they're going to think it's Portland. They're going to think it's Lillard and the rest of the gang or a bunch of nobodies. It's not the case. Norman Powell's going to play. He's going to start. Tony Snell's in. Larry Nance Jr. is going to play. They're short benched. Obviously, they don't have McLemore. They don't have Cummings. They don't have McCullough. They don't have Nurkic. They don't have those guys. However, and they haven't been very good on the road, have they, guys? They haven't been. This Lakers team right now, is second worst net rating in the league since December for minus 10.3. And anybody that's minus 10.3, 5-12 against the spread as a home favorite, I'm fading. Give me the Portland Trailblazers.
All right. Even though they got a 2-12 record on the road this year, and even though Frank Vogel is back, yeah. All right, good stuff there, guys. Now it is time for best bets here, as we have plenty of opportunities across the board here to make it a profitable evening. We are going to start with the prop god himself, Mr. Andy Lang. So, Andy, 60 seconds on the clock, man. Point us in a direction here tonight. Best bet, where are you going?
Well, I sure hope LeBron plays his max minutes, because my best bet is LeBron over 30.5 points tonight. I don't know. I don't see a New Year's Eve game in Los Angeles as when he takes it off. I just have to roll with him here. He's been on fire. He has over 30 points in 6 straight games. Like you mentioned, he's playing a ton of minutes. He's averaging 37.4 this month, which is insanity. Trailblazers missing Nurkic. It's proving to be a massive problem on the defensive end. They've given up 120 and 132 points in those 2 games. And without Anthony Davis in there, the lane's going to be wide open. I think Westbrook and LeBron are both going to have a green light going all the way to the basket. He's shooting threes well. I don't really expect him to have another shooting performance like that, but I just don't think Portland has what it takes to defend him, especially if he gets inside. If he wants to bang down low, he can do that. And they're off tomorrow, so I think he's going to get his full minutes tonight and a win.
All right, there you go. Love it. He's banking on LeBron playing some minutes here tonight. Tony Finn, 60 seconds on the clock, my man. Point us in a direction. Where are you going tonight?
I'm gonna go to Toronto, where they have about 1,000 people. From what I understand, they're down to about 1,000 in the seats or in capacity. They've lowered their attendance limits, and I'm going to go south of the total in this game. Not only has Clippers suffered some injuries and some COVID, Zubac, he was added to the COVID list. Listen, the Clippers can still defend. You saw that in Boston. They limited this team to 0.93 points per possession, 0.624 per play in the half court. They can still defend with the injuries. Under 210 against the Toronto team that's inconsistent will get defended. Who's going to score? Give me the under 210 in Toronto tonight.
Ooh, going with the under in this one. Well, it should be an interesting matchup. That's for sure there.
Yeah.
1,000 people, let's be realistic. And I get more than 1,000 in them games anyway, so what the hell's the difference? All right, so talk to us here. Kevin Dolan, 60 seconds on the clock. You liked Atlanta as your dog. What's your best bet here tonight?
Well, just mention quickly too, Joe, we got a 30-day special up right now at my page. That's 30 days of everything: NFL, college football, soccer, boxing, hockey, NBA, obviously. $149, less than half price. Jan 149, JAN 149. So heading over to take advantage of that. In terms of a best bet for tonight, I like Dallas on the road in Sacramento to win and cover here. We literally just saw this game on Wednesday night play out. Dallas had that miserable second quarter in that game before the break. They got outscored by 22 points right before the half. Their shooting percentage was worse than Sacramento's. Their three-point percentage was worse. Their free throw percentage was worse. They had less points in the paint, less defensive rebounds. Like, every conceivable factor was worse for Dallas in that game, and yet it still took a buzzer beater to knock them off late. So, Dallas are favourite here once again. The books know it. The early money knows it. Dallas shows up here, I think, and takes care of business on the road tonight against Sacramento. Best bet, and obviously Happy New Year to everyone.
All right, good stuff. Love it. And I'm just shocked here that nobody took the Houston Rockets in honor of Robert here. But maybe Robert will finally bet that. No, he's not going to bet him. He's absolutely not going to bet him. All right, recap it one more time. Nobody's betting the Rockets. Andy Lang liking the Clippers tonight, +7 with those 1,000 people in attendance, apparently. He also likes LeBron James, max minutes and max points. Give him the over 30.5 points here tonight, while Tony Finn, he says, screw LeBron James on the Lakers. Give me the Trailblazers +5.5. And that's a quote. Screw LeBron James, said Tony Finn. Clippers, Raptors under 210.5 in that game. Also, Kevin Dolan, he likes the Hawks as a small dog here, 1.5, while also backing the Dallas Mavericks as a small favorite, laying the 1.5. And our contrarian play of the day to round out 2021, the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Utah Jazz tonight. That is your contrarian side and play for the day. And that does it for us here, guys. Obviously, we invite you to head over to WagerTalk.com. You heard the guys say, on each of their pages, great opportunities to hop on board and start the new year afresh and get these packages that are available right now, especially throughout the NBA season. There is no reason not to partner up with these guys. They are 3 of the most profitable in the association at WagerTalk.com. Make sure you visit Andy Lang, Kevin Dolan, and Tony Finn's page today over at Wager Talk. And on behalf of all of us here on the NBA Tip-Off Show and at WagerTalk.com, Andy Lang, Kevin Dolan, of course, Tony Finn, we appreciate the support. We appreciate you guys hanging with us. We hope you hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner and subscribe to our page. And more importantly, we hope you have a very safe and happy new year. Next time we see you, it will be a brand new year, 2022. And until then, guys, best of luck with your plays this weekend. Be safe. We'll see you again in 2022. Good luck, guys. Thanks again.
When WagerTalk acquired the iconic Gold Sheet, the goal was to turn it into a modern, user-friendly product providing high-quality content and data. We're well on our way to achieving just that, and we want to show you how far it's come. From Friday, December 24th through Sunday, January 2nd, enjoy free access to the Gold Sheet. Just head to goldsheet.com and sign in using username free@goldsheet.com and use password free to get access to our NFL, college football, NBA, and college basketball content for the entire week. No credit card, email, or registration is required. Check it out. And if you enjoyed the new and improved Gold Sheet, like we know you will, lock in savings now and grab our 2022 football Gold Sheet for just $99. That's right, until January 1st, 2022, we're taking $100 off the regular price of $199. From all of us here at Wager Talk Sports Memo and the Gold Sheet, we wish you a wonderful holiday season and a prosperous new year.